Yes. Right. Yeah, it's a open thing.
All right, find another partner.
Thank you.
I'm Drew. Yes, sir. What's your name? Jonathan, nice to meet you. I'm fresh, so feel free to teach me something.
How long you been coming?
2 weeks.
We'll just do one-on-one, so.
I keep my head. Somebody just taught me it. But I haven't. Does it matter which? The same side? Okay.
You can do it slow.
Yes.
About 30 more seconds to work, guys.
Yeah. I'm always like this.
So.
Oh.
Okay. I think I'm doing that. Sorry, you're grabbing across.
I gotta grab a drink.
If your head's here,
I know it's kind of appreciate it. I just do what works best for Carlos. That's the same. I coach. I would coach the opposite. I think yeah.
Okay, so everybody who wasn't here last week, this is kind of what we worked. We're gonna do just basically the same game, but almost no constraints. So we are gonna allow the person standing to get their leg drag. So for people who haven't seen a leg drag, the way I like to do it is I like to grab cross. Then I usually like to put my hand on the top of the knee, and then I shove it all the way behind me until I'm down low, and I have that leg tucked behind me. The idea is not to just sit on his hips, but to sit on his hips and point his knees that way. Because now when he tries to turn into me, it's really hard because I'm connected to him, and it's just hard. But if I have his heel straight up like this, where his knees almost vertical, when he tries to shrimp out, he just shrimps away. So if you feel like people are just shrimping away, it's probably because you're not turning their hips enough when you're squeezing. The idea is their hips need to be turned while you're pinning the chest, and you start to work around the side control. So, to set up the game, person on bottom, you're not doing anything yet, okay? This person's gonna set up, get in this position. Once we're into this leg drag position, and this person on top says, okay, I feel good. We're gonna have the person on bottom start the escape. The person on top's goal is gonna be to start the pass. So one of the easiest ways, I like to pass in this position if I have my arm here, so I just stick my leg out and I come through, right? So this should be a position that you get a lot of reps in, at least practicing this. Squeeze, come in, get tight, find how it feels to sit on their hips, because I guarantee you when you first start, you're gonna do this, because everyone does, because the emphasis is the weight on the hip and the pinch on the legs, which makes it really easy for me to have my feet on the ground. If I'm just on my feet, I fall on my butt and I go this way. If I feel like I'm too far forward, because my head is too far forward, and when he pushes my butt or anything, I'll just go, and it's horrible. But if I'm hunkered in with my legs, right, I got all this connection, when he pushes my butt or tries to go that way, I'm attached to his hip. When he turns, I turn. So if he turns that way, I use it as my advantage to kick out. Okay? So, one more time for the setup. Boom, bam. Okay, go. Forward play again. Boom. Okay? When that happens, let's do 2 wins. If you get 2 wins in a row, we switch. If you don't get 2 wins in a row, try again. This is a game set up to be almost continuous. The person on top should be getting a lot of success. So if we don't get 2 success points in a row, let's try to get them 2 success points in a row. Does that make sense to everybody? Is that too confusing?
Yeah, because we're working on the pass. We're trying to.
Exactly. We want people to feel comfortable in that leg drag position settled right there.
Right.
Because it's also a position that crab rides, back takes. You're doing that, but you're like this. Okay? So if you can get really confident with that leg pitch and staying tight to the hips, you don't need the ground anymore. You just need control of the hip line. So that's why I want the emphasis on that part of the position. Person on top starts the game. When you're settled and you're like, I feel good, some of you are going to get launched immediately. You're like, I feel good, they're just going to launch you. Because that's kind of how leg drag works until you get good at the position. Cool? Any more questions?
The weight on each side, is it just equal that we're
Yeah,
doing,
it just-
or do we want it slightly more like a knee on belly kind of?
It depends. I mean, it depends on how they're reacting. So if they're turning out, you have to be really tight because you don't want that hip to come out. You want it to stay flat. But if they're turning into you, you got to put more emphasis on the hip.
So kind of be.
Yeah, I want you to be able to float on top of their body.
Okay.
So yes, sometimes you will be like this if they've got an advantageous position and you feel off balance that way. But the main goal is that when I'm on him, I'm tight and I feel secure. It's not really about where my weight is, it's about the pinch on his hip. Right now, if he tries to get out, go ahead, try to strip away. I'm disconnected, right? That's the idea. It's not, if I take my feet off the ground, look, go ahead, trip. I'm still just as connected. Okay? That's what this is leading to. Does that make that roll right there that I just did? So, pinch. Pinch. Okay? Any more questions? Find a partner. 1, 2, 3, break. Also, we're gonna do a little bit longer rounds. I'm gonna do 3-minute rounds because we're doing the 2 wing thing. Work slow, talk to your partner, okay guys?
I've never done this. I'll,
Timer's going! Yeah, and now you have this on 3. Do whatever you want. Right? Yeah, and his goal is to pass, his goal is to try to retain guard or get you whatever. You can throw back. You got the one.
I was just thinking about that. Grab it across. Pull it back on over here. I'm trying to. Grab that ball. You pull. Okay, this. Yeah, off the mat a little bit. The idea.
Really? Get that about a minute left. If you haven't got an opportunity to switch, please switch.
For me, yeah, so walking it over, it's really hard.
That's the idea. I'm flying myself.
Yeah. It's just really.
You're trying to keep your
momentum.
You were doing that. I'm flying momentum.
Loaded.
I was doing that.
She's a misdirection. Right.
Yeah.
No, make sure you're tucking that here. Just going all the way behind. The further that's behind you, the better. You go opposite. Yeah. Yes. And if I can, I bring my elbow all the way in front of the knee.
You're trying to keep my hip
So I'm low.
over this way. I'm immobilized here.
So I can swing around.
I'm trying to say, fuck that.
Just what you'll gain is he'll try to knee up. As soon as you take your hand off.
Maybe a little in here.
Alright guys, let's find another partner!
Yeah, I got you. Alright, thank you, man.
As soon as I'm gonna take this hand off, I exchange it. Yep.
What was it again? Same on here.
That way when you try he's got my shoulder to deal with.
I'm like pretty good, so.
Rather than put it right here. You gotta do it. So like, we'll get there. That's why I say I come in, I grab the top, it's an exchange. I'm here.
Doing this a while? Not 2 weeks in.
About 30 seconds left till the next round, guys. This gives me a chance.
Oh yeah, really?
Everybody got a new partner?
We're just chopping the
It's about to start. 10, 9, 8. The problem with 3-minute rounds is there's a minute and a half break between them.
Oh, yeah, we're just putting in extra work. Yeah, a little warming up, real deal.
I don't get the body lock off. From there.
Those burly bears.
An opportunity to present themselves. Brown bears. I think that. For cubs, not bears.
No bears. Hey. I thought he was gonna make it out the back door there for a second. Yeah. What's it mean if I just want to watch? It means we're actually doing jujitsu. Thinking
about that one.
Everybody,
Come back. Come back. Hard. Right there. No, that was good.
Feels so relaxed when you're doing it.
Yeah.
You're just like thinking through your options.
I may have been switching, to be honest.
Swear to God, thinking it doesn't anymore. Break both knees.
You haven't switched yet. We switched our bottom.
Yeah, I don't really know.
Oh, that's fine. No one does.
No.
You're not going to step now.
Okay.
I started in the
So
morning.
if I have him pinned and he's letting me work right here, and I feel like I'm safe, and I have him somewhere, I can just pull the rug out from under it. Take it out.
Oh.
Down. Now it's only if I feel like I have his leg under control. Right, exactly. But it gives you another thing to do besides run through the brick wall.
Thank you.
I think I was feeling the same side. Because I felt like I was pitched so far.
My knees are going that way.
Maybe I was in here.
Alright guys, come on in. I want to touch on one thing for some people. So, everybody's doing a really good job of getting into this spot right here. Getting into this spot right here. But there's a problem that herein lies. His leg is a lot stronger than my arm, no matter what I do. Right? So when he busts his leg through, like it's a problem. So if we come here, it's an exchange. I come in and then I push this as far back as I can until it's behind my shoulder. That allows me to keep it hinged tighter to my body, and when he tries to drive through, it basically just pushes me into it, which is way better than his leg coming all the way through and we're doing this shin to shin battle. So if you're feeling like you're comfortable here, and then as soon as the game starts, it's probably because you're lacking some kind of connection point to this leg. At any point, if I don't mind you playing with this in front, you just have to be acknowledgeable. It needs to be locked in, like heavy the whole time. Like he needs to be thinking about it. If he's not thinking about it, you're not thinking about it, and it's going to turn, blast through, and you're going to be in this whole game. Which is why I just kind of defaulted to trying to throw it as far behind and into like my rib tuck area as possible, because it just keeps me so tight on the hip line that I can rotate around it without using my hands. So think about that leg drag as a rope, and you're like, okay, I got a hand here, climb, throw more rope behind me. Oh, look how high up on his body I am. I got no more leg to climb, right? So we're gonna go ahead and move on from that, because I think that's just, it's pretty easy to implement. Work that from that leg drag position. Just pay attention to your order of operations climbing that leg. Make sure it's always tucked in tight before you're going to whatever, roll under pass, step out pass, whatever you want to do. It doesn't matter, that hip's got to be under control, okay? So from that, most of us are going to end up in side control. So the next game is very boring and continuous. But person on top, we're going to be maintaining side control. I really don't care how you do it, but please spare your partner's faces. Don't just cross face them for 7.5 minutes, because
Why are you looking at me?
I mean, just in general, if they've been there for 2.5, let the cross face off and let them work something, because you've proved your point. Also, if you end up in this crazy Keswick position, let's not spend 3.5 minutes trying to pressure tap the person on bottom, because they probably don't know how to escape, and that's why they're still down there. But the main idea is just the emphasis on person on top, this chest-to-chest grip, and fighting the frames. Because one of the things that happens if I just maintain this chest-to-chest, it really doesn't matter if I let all his arms get in there, because he's going to push me off of his body and just move away. So all the person on top is fighting frames, keeping them flat. You can drop arms. Okay, we'll do submissions later, but for these rounds, no submissions. We're just maintaining top-to-top pressure. Guy on bottom, just create space and escape, advance your position in any way. I don't care if you get to your knees. We're going to say guy on bottom 1. If he gets to a half guard position, boom, 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 you did not maintain side control. Okay, so the only thing the guy on top needs to do is maintain side control. The only thing the guy on bottom needs to do is upgrade his position. If you're freaky like me and you throw bottom submissions, let's not do those. You can use them as like a hold, but let's not lock into them to finish. Let's use them as like a mechanism to get to a new guard position. Those of us who do bottom side control submissions, because you're done. Anybody have any questions on that?
What about north-south?
That's fine. You can go north-south. Let's just, that whole like clock, right? If you want to walk all the way to the clock, let's just stay out of the leg game.
Okay.
So we can walk from 7 to 5 o'clock, but we're just gonna stay out of that leg entanglement game. Any more questions? Find your partner. 1, 2, 3, break.
Are we switching every win?
Yeah, let's switch every win. If they get an escape, we're gonna switch every win. Rounds will be shorter too, because this is miserable. So we'll do 2-minute rounds.
Which round again?
I was like, yeah, we got it. Person on top, let's start with like a seatbelt grip. Just your traditional one over the shoulder, one under the arm.
All the way in, flat or back.
Just so we can practice pummeling. And some people never hand fight if I don't start them from there.
Listen.
Everybody ready?
Yeah, I mean, I did.
Timer's going! First idea is get your frames back if you're on bottom. If you got no frames, you got nothing. Did you good? I gotta make a game. Make sure you get this frame. Get your frame first. You've got hundreds of your big. Yeah, there you go. That's the idea. Watch your feet, guys. Watch your feet. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Oh, silly. If you haven't switched top bottom, please switch top bottom.
Little too rigid. On your back. Keep that chest show first.
All right, guys, find another partner.
Let's do it. Ready? Fire up.
Yeah, see that? Now you got Sure, like roll it into there.
Honestly, the rules are way more.
Down back there. All right, guys, we're gonna switch to a turtle position now because that position sucks. So now we're just gonna work turtle because the ADCC is interesting. Grab a drink if you need a drink. Last position of the day.
How you been? Good.
So just so everybody's clear on how the game's gonna be set up for this one. Person on bottom's gonna start in turtle. Person on top is gonna be in this seatbelt position, no hooks in. Okay? My goal is gonna be to either advance my position to all the way to his back, hooks in, or to just maintain this turtle so he can't stand up. His goal is going to be to get the guard to not get his back sticking. Those are your two things. Yeah, it's really the only emphasis. Really make sure you're maintaining this chest to back pressure. You'll notice if you let him sit out, he's just going to sit away from you. Like sit that hip that way. Right? He's going to start to turn and separate that chest to chest. He's like, oh god. So keep in mind.
If we get both hooks, is that game over?
Game over.
Okay.
If person on top gets both hooks, takes you back, that's the game for the person on top. Person on bottom, if you're able to wrestle up or get to a guard position, that's your win condition. We're going to switch. Any questions?
Yeah, you said back, that's the win only.
That's it.
Maintain.
You don't even have to maintain. If you get your hooks in, from even if he's not all the way flattened out, I come here hooks, this is a win. The definition of a win in this situation is that. Okay, even if I don't have my hands, I got my hooks because we're getting the hip to hip pin. The idea is that we're practicing upgrading a chest to back connection to a hip to hip connection, right? Because when we're hip to hip, we're pretty much translating to a chokes with our arms. So it's just to get a little bit of repetition of practicing that upgrade of getting to their hips without allowing them to wrestle up, because that's really what's kind of become trendy in the no-gi world, is just anti-jujitsu wrestling and just wrestle up. Any other questions?
Like, say that you are like trying to get that second hook and they just leave their neck wide open, like, I'm not gonna like that, you know, but like, let it go. Basically,
Let's open up rear naked. Like, if somebody's just like,
I'm just saying, I've done this drill before, and
no, it's fair.
I was so focused on it, and he was focused on it, and then I was like, oh, dude, I could just go.
Yeah, no, that's a total fair point. Yeah. So I said earlier that we're gonna add submissions in the later positions, anyways. So the submissions we'll add is you can do any submission from the back. You just can't rotate to other positions. Does that fair? Make sense to everybody?
Yeah.
Cool. All right, find a partner. 1, 2, 3, break.
What's up, man?
There's my timer.
Okay. So, fly it over.
You want me to find you guys partners?
You can kind of start
I'm
wherever
fine.
you want.
Alright.
He was in that like sequence.
Everybody ready? Time is going. I mean, that's a good call out, honestly.
Well, I did. I'm like, oh yeah.
It develops muscle memory.
You're so worried about it. They don't worry about it.
Yeah, if you win, just switch. Yeah, just switch. If there's a win, just switch. See right there, just switch. If he made it all the way to a half guard position. If he's not on his knees and you're not on his chest and back anymore, then he won. Watch your legs.
Am I like sitting back in this position? Am I up?
No.
Thank you, gentlemen.
No, okay, and then in here, your best bet is going to be hit like.
I can go like that.
If you stay like that,
Nice
if
idea.
you're all this real estate, you're gonna be wide open. Typically, when you're in a turtle and
If you ever got an
you
opportunity
get
to
to,
switch,
you really are like
switch
just
now.
protecting your neck, cause like hands and shoulders and stuff like that are gonna come through, so. Yeah, I would not
Yeah.
recommend trying to like
That's a
open
bad
up
position
and.
for you, for sure.
It's all
I was like, maybe
I'm
he'll
just trying to keep it like-
stuff and I can slide it in.
You can roll out.
It's harder if you're tight in here.
I got you.
I noticed that. I have like one booking. So, should I be trying to get that?
Timer's going! Yeah. Watch your feet, guys. Easy out.
Like almost. Like
Like your head.
You got it then.
Yeah, it's a perfect example. I didn't have that bomb. Ready? Yep. All right.
Alright guys, got a minute left. If you ever switch top bottom, please switch top bottom now.
You're good, bud. Yeah. Good wrist ride, man.
Good stuff there.
Wrestling.
Alright guys.
I've been trying to learn how to wrist ride like that through from Craig Jones. Yeah.
Your name?
Jake.
Good job.
Josh, nice to meet you.
You too.
I don't have anything inspirational to say after that. Good class, everyone. Hard work. Keep working that stuff. It sucks, but it's good stuff. That leg drag position, if you commit to that hip ride, your Farambolo crab ride game, you'll be like, oh, this is why they can stay on the hips, is because they're riding the hips literally. So practice that, and I swear you'll get better at Farambolos, weirdly enough. So if you need me, I'm here. Open up 6 minute round. Thanks for the class.
I don't want to rely on bolos, but I sure do kind of enjoy doing it.
Oh, it's fun, right? It's especially fun against people who have no idea what they are, because you're like, watch, I'm a wizard.
Yeah. Most of the time I get in this body lock position, pass anyways.
We need a tip chart. Yeah, but for me, I was right here.
Book me for private.
2 days away.
Tell people I teach private.
I got one thing sure. I couldn't remember where I put my phone and I remembered it's the camera.
Well,